Hi and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So, I said I would do a monthly vlog again where I read all of the books on my TBR, so this time I'm reading all of the books on my TBR for April. Yeah, we're like halfway through April and I haven't started that vlog, however, here we are. We're gonna do a vlog for the next 2 weeks. I'm really sorry I haven't started this sooner. I kept saying I would the next day and not having time or rushing off somewhere else. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but I have this week off work, so I thought I would just finally start this vlog and talk to you about all of the books I've actually read already, because I've read about half of the books on my TBR for this month so far. And then I will talk to you in real time about the other books. This is quite a big TBR for the month because I did 2 and I'm going to be vlogging them together. So I'm vlogging the books on my TBR mini golf TBR, which I'll show you here and put a link in the description. And I'm doing a vlog, the same vlog. In this vlog, we will be discussing both of these things. I'm also going to be discussing my magical readathon TBR. So it's like 10 books in all, I think. Need to write down all of them and what TBRs they're actually for, but chaos. Okay, so we're a little bit unevenly split. I have read 4 books and I have 6 to go. I still haven't gotten that Catwoman book down from up there, so I really need to do that. I might do that in a minute, because I said I'd do it after I filmed the TBR video and never did, and I was like, if I don't do it, I'll forget. And I forgot. But anyway, the books I have read so far are Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which my mom's currently reading, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, Side Splitter by Phil Wang, and People from My Neighbourhood by Hiromi Kawakami. So I'm going to talk about these in order of reading them. So the first one I read was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I really fucking loved this book so much. It was so good. Honestly, I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. I often feel like that with romance. I feel like I go in thinking it's going to be predictable, it's going to be cliche, it's going to be really cheesy, I'm not going to enjoy it that much, or I'm going to find it just like annoying. But I loved it. Like, I read them and then I'm like, I love romance. I can't help but fall in love with it. And so Book Lovers is following, I cannot remember her name, Nora? I feel like it's not Nora because Must Love Books has a character called Nora in it, but I can't think of another name. So it follows Nora, who's, let's call her Nora, who is a literary agent, and it follows Charlie, who is an editor. And they are like kind of rivals at the start of the book, and she has this like meeting with him about this one book, and basically her sister then says, you are like working too much and things aren't going right in your life. Basically, she has gone through a lot of like breakups, one of them being very like recent at the start of the book. So her sister is like, we are going to Sunshine Falls, which is this like idyllic town in the middle of nowhere that she wants to go to and take Nora away to, just to escape for like the summer. And it's also the setting of one of her like the books that she works on, which actually was this point of contention between her and Charlie. And she turns up in Sunshine Falls and Charlie is there. And the book goes from there. I just really loved it. I actually got emotional at the end and I really didn't expect to, and that was the point where I was like, yeah, I think this is a 5-star for me, because I didn't expect to get emotional at romance and I just really enjoyed it. I listened to the audiobook of it, which was really good, really liked the audio, the narrator was brilliant, and I love the setting of Sunshine Falls. I love the 2 characters. It was great. Honestly, it was a great time. As you can tell, I really liked Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I also really liked Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. This one was so good as well. This is so cute. This is following Viv, who is an orc barbarian who has basically spent her life like fighting, doing typical orc things. And she comes across this thing called coffee, which is in like a goblin land, I think. So she comes across coffee, she goes to this, she like moves to this place called Dune, and she opens up this new coffee shop in a place where nobody even knows what coffee is. and she has to like find the people in the town. She has to ask them for help, like setting up this place, building it, working there. So she ends up gathering this kind of like family of people around her in this place that she doesn't know, who pull her through the hardest of times and the darkest of times, and they really band together, and it's adorable. It's so lovely. It's so heartwarming. I knew it would be. What I didn't expect is to really just fall in love with picking this book up, and I feel like this is one of those books for me where you pick it up and you realise why you love reading so much, because you just want to involve and envelop yourself in the pages. And picking it up, I just wanted to carry on. Finish this a day early on the buddy read I was doing with Alex and B, because it was just so lovely. And like, yeah, honestly, if you have any inclination to read this, please do. Please know that it's going to be the coziest fantasy ever, and it's lovely. And I just, yeah, it says for fans of The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I think is very true, because I love that book as well. But yeah, it's very cozy, it's very like low-key, which is what the author wanted. There's also a Q&A in my edition, which is a proof of the UK paperback, which says that Travis himself is an audiobook narrator, and he wanted to write this because he was narrating all of these like big grand fantasy books with all this like fighting and adventure, and he wanted to see the quieter side of that world. So he wrote this book, and I think that is beautiful. Legends and Lattes, another 5-star. And the next one I read was Side Splitter by Phil Wang. Again, this is a proof copy, and I read this again on audio. If you don't know Phil Wang, he's a Eurasian comedian who lives in London, I think. And this is basically about his life being from two different worlds, moving from Asia to Europe. It's following his experiences of being in the West and the East, and it's following kind of all these questions that he's had over the times in his life, like where were you really from? It's following 10 different topics, which are family, words, food, race, comedy, love, history, assimilation, nature and home. And I really thought this was good. I honestly really enjoyed it. I love Phil Wang as a comedian anyway. I've loved watching his stand-up for a while. I saw him on Live at the Apollo a few years ago, and I think he's really good. And I knew it would come across in this story, and it really did. And also, if you get a chance to listen to the audiobook, please do, because it listens like a podcast, because he's reading it, and I feel like that is the best thing for these kind of stories, like memoirs, because it really like brings his sense of humour out. I think if somebody else read it, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't show his sense of humour. This was brilliant. It was funny. It was honest. It was showing all of these difficult situations that Phil has faced, but in a really like humorous way as well. And I really liked that there was all of these different subjects and different focuses. I found some of them obviously really interesting, like words, because that's about language and that's what I studied. Partly, but also like the things about family and love, found that really interesting as well. Race is brought into it in a really good way, obviously first-hand experience of moving to the UK as well, and having this like split life between the UK and Malaysia. But yeah, it was really interesting, and I did really enjoy it. So I think I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 stars, but I don't feel like it's fair to rate memoirs, because it's like rating someone's personal life, but because I do it with every other book, I feel like I have to. And then last but not least, out of the ones I've actually read, I read People from My Neighbourhood by Hiromi Kawakami. Read this the other day in like one sitting on a live show. This one is weird, like so strange, so fantastically bizarre. Like bizarre is probably the best way to describe this. It's about a neighbourhood in Japan. And it's following all of the people in this neighbourhood, but all of the people in this neighbourhood are odd in some way. They all have these quirks that, I'm not just talking general weirdness, like in a way that I'm weird. I'm talking about weird, like really bizarre. Like there's a house in here that if you stand at the doorway at 3 p.m. on your birthday, then the door opens and you go inside and a song is playing, and that song is your destiny. It's like that, and there's like stories about children that are not really children, and you don't really know where they've come from. They just appear and they live in the neighbourhood now. And they're not like actually human, but what are they? I don't know. They're like stuck in this like time. it's just so odd. And also this collection is like, it's like short stories, but they're only like 3 to 4 pages long. Often the other people in the neighbourhood are mentioned. It was in a lot of ways amazing for the imagination. I just don't think I could write like this or even come up with these stories. Like, it's like the author just let her imagination just run absolutely wild. But the thing I thought was really cool about this is that you are just dumped straight into another story. Like, they're only 3-4 pages long. There's no time to meet these characters or set up this world or set up any kind of fantastical magical parts of it. You're just dumped into another story and all of a sudden there is cheese falling from the sky. That's not actually a story in here, but that's weirdly the first thing that came to mind. And you don't have any time to adjust to that fact. You are just in it. It's like, okay, now there's I don't know, now there's like birds running around and they are speaking. Also not a story in here. Don't know why these things are coming to my head, but I'm just trying to think of like things that would be in here. You're just like, okay, I just have to get used to this because this story is only 4 pages long. I have to adjust my mindset to the fact that this is real in this world. So yeah, it's insane. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I still don't know how I feel about it. I think in a lot of ways it's fantastic and I admire it a lot. I don't know if it was necessarily for me personally. In my head when I was reading it, I was thinking 3 stars, maybe 3.5 for its whimsy, and for the writing that I do really admire, but it's just very strange. But I love this cover so much. And I do think I want to read Strange Weather in Tokyo, which is probably this author's like biggest work, which I haven't read yet. Okay, on to the stack of books that I still need to read. So I still need to read The Wolf Den, I still need to read Golden Boys, still need to read The 10,000 Doors of January, and Sinister Spring, and Death of a Bookseller. So, you know, we haven't got a lot to read in the next few weeks at all. That's fine. It's fine. Also Catwoman Under the Moon, I think, is the graphic novel I picked, which is up on the top shelf of that bookshelf, which I will get down in a minute or I will forget. One of my next reads, I think my next one is going to be 10,000 Doors of January, because I found out that these two have audiobooks, and although I think I would prefer to read both of these physically, I'm going to need to read some on audio to get through this in the time that I have. So I think I'm going to pick up 10,000 Doors of January on audiobook today, see how that goes, and I will update you. I promise I will update this vlog now I've finally started it with how I'm finding 10,000 Doors of January. And yeah, hopefully we can read a lot over the next few weeks. Hi, I will give you a reading update at some point, but I just wanted to give you a quick update because I've been out today. It's record store day today, so there is a lot of exclusive records on sale, and my friend Amy wanted to go and see what she could get. So I also bought a few things. We went to a few different shops. I did buy one book in Waterstones, so thought I'd just show you what I got today. So hopefully you'll find this interesting. I did buy a few little clothes pieces, a few items of clothing in a charity shop. I got this dress, which I thought was really pretty and summery, and hopefully will fit and I could wear it into the office. I also bought this like blouse with some little embroidered flowers on that I thought would be good for the office as well. The book I got was Emily St. John Mandel's Sea of Tranquility. I haven't read Station 11 yet, but I really want to. But I did get the Waterstones exclusive edition, so I wanted to get this while I could, because I wanted these sprayed edges. I have been eyeing this up for ages, ever since it came out in hardback, and hadn't bought it yet. So bought the paperback version. I'm very excited for it. Also has some very nice foiling on this cover as well. I did buy a couple of records. I was kind of pulled into the Bluey hype for this record because Amy wanted this and she showed me a video of it and it's so cool. Wouldn't say I'm a massive fan of Bluey, but I've been told that it's very good and I need to get into it, so maybe I will. It's pretty cool, and the record actually moves when you play it because it has all of these figures on and they dance. Because it's a zoetrope, I think that's how you say it, zoetrope picture disc, which has the, yeah, like, moving pictures on, which is pretty cool. I also got the 1975 record, which is live with the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra, which I'm very, very excited for. It has some amazing songs on it. I'm so excited to see it has chocolate on it. Has I Like It When You Sleep For You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It, Love Me, A Change of Heart, Somebody Else, Loving Someone, Please Be Naked, Lost My Head, If I Believe You, Chocolate and the Sound. I love the 1975, so I am very excited to give this a listen. I sadly did not queue early enough to get the Taylor Swift record. However, one of the record shops very kindly gave me a poster because they felt, well, they didn't have any left, but we asked anyway if they did, and they said that they had that, which was very nice of them. Feels a bit weird having it without the record though, not gonna lie. I also ended up buying a few CDs. I bought the Lavender Midnights. You can see me. Hi. I bought the Lavender Midnight CD because I've been wanting, I've been keeping an eye on these coloured CDs of Midnights because a lot of them don't include the bonus tracks, and I was looking at the different coloured ones in the store because they had a few different colours. Only the lavender one has the bonus tracks, which I thought was really odd. It's nowhere near as pretty as the vinyl, but it's still pretty, and I wanted a Midnights CD anyway to play in my car, because I listen to CDs in my car. So I have been keeping an eye, and weirdly the lavender one has the bonus tracks, the other ones don't, but I wanted the lavender one anyway, so that's all good for me. And then I also bought Notes on a Conditional Form by the 1975. I have been really bad about listening to their last few albums. This one had 22 songs on and was only $6.99, so I thought it was worth getting for my car, seeing as I was buying Midnights anyway, so I bought those two. So that's everything I bought today. I do have reading updates for you because I've been listening to the 10,000 Doors of January and I'm nearly finished, but I will catch up with you properly at some point, but I hope you've enjoyed this little haul. Hi, I'm here with another update that is not about the books that I should be reading in this vlog, but I actually have a big parcel from Hachette that I wanted to unbox on this video, or just on a video, to show you what's inside it. I do not know what's inside it. I think it's some kind of package that may or may not be associated with an event, but let's dive in and see. Some kind of poster perhaps, and then a tote bag which seems to be full of goodies. Okay, I'm excited. Let's see what this, I think this is a poster, what this poster is. Oh, there is so much good stuff in here. I have a feeling this was meant to go to my shop, but this is so cute. This poster is a massive Heartstopper poster, which is adorable. It's advertising volume 5, and there is also some stickers and things and some information about upcoming releases. There's another kind of poster thing. There's a chapter sampler for You Grow Girl. There's some toffee popcorn, which is cool. There's a bookmark for How to Train Your Dragon. And there is 3 books, which is cute. The first one is Lily Grimm and the City of Undone. And then there is Lose You to Find Me by Eric J. Brown, which is the same author as All That's Left in the World, which I really enjoyed. And this one is following Tommy, who is trying to secure a spot at culinary school with his feelings for a childhood crush threatening to boil over. That sounds really cool. And the other one is Shitbag by Zena Knox, which is following a girl who has an ileostomy bag. I think I've mispronounced that. But it's about her kind of navigating her teenage years with an ileostomy bag. Which is cool, and as it says fresh, fierce, sharply funny and taboo breaking, which I would definitely agree with. It's a cool proof as well. Honestly, I think this needs to go to my shop, but it's a nice thing to unbox on camera and show you guys what I received from Hachette. Okay, you know that parcel I was talking about? It's for this event here, which I'm currently on. It's just about to start, and I'm also decorating a cake, so here we go. It's starting. Watching that event, decorating this cake. Hello, I am here to update this vlog. It's nearly the end of the month, I'm not gonna lie. I am really feeling like I failed at this month's vlog. I just have not been able to keep you guys updated. Honestly, I've been very bad. But I thought I would drop in and do an update, and hopefully if I do a few updates over the next few days, this won't be a complete waste of time for myself and all of you, and you still have a video that you have enjoyed watching. I am going to London tomorrow with Mark, so hopefully I will record some clips there as well, which you will see and enjoy. But I need to update you on all of the stuff that I've been reading or desperately trying to read. And I also have a couple of things to unbox as well. Can you tell I'm rushing and I'm in my lunch break? But anyway, I feel like I need to update you on all of the books. Like all of them. So let's just go through the books that I was meant to read this month and how well I have done or how much I have failed. So firstly, let's go through the books I was meant to read for TBR Mini Golf. So that TBR, so there's 5 books on that TBR. First one being People from My Neighbourhood by Hiromi Kawakami. I also read Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I loved this book so much. It was so good. I also read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. I love this book. It's so cosy, it's queer, it's soft and gentle. I also read Side Splitter by Phil Wang, which I did also enjoy. Also read 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow, which I did enjoy. I feel like I could have been more involved and enveloped with the story, but I did really like it. It definitely was reminiscent of things like The Night Circus and Addie LaRue, which I absolutely love. Didn't quite capture my attention as much as those do, but I did still really enjoy it. It's following January, who is kind of this guy's like ward. She lives in this house with this guy, and she finds this book, and if she can kind of use this book to go to other worlds. It was very mystical and whimsical, and I loved the writing so much. The writing was probably the best part. I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. I also just finished Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater, which I really, really enjoyed as well. This one is very dark, set in Walthamstow, which you will probably see tomorrow with me, because me and Mark are going to Walthamstow tomorrow, so you will see that. It was really enjoyable, very, very dark, as I said, set in this bookshop between these two kind of rivals, one of whom is very dark as a character and is obsessed with like murder and true crime, and the other is this kind of like pretty influencer kind of. She's not an influencer, she likes watching influencers like lifestyle videos and stuff. She has like matching clothes and wears lip gloss and is kind of opposite to this dark character, and the kind of darker character Roach becomes obsessed with Laura, who is the more like pretty one. Really, really interesting. And Laura also has this really dark background as well. It was fascinating. I really enjoyed it and also loved the setting, because me and Mark spent a lot of time in Walthamstow when we first got together, so it was really cool to see that. And also, this is definitely set in a Waterstones. They're called Spines in here, but they are definitely Waterstones. The author was a Waterstones bookseller for 6 years. There's so many intricacies in here that were very, very relatable as a Waterstones bookseller specifically, like using buy one get one half price stickers and things like that, which definitely I really, really enjoyed as a Waterstones employee. So yes, very much liked that. This one is now out as well. It came out on the 27th of April, nearly said February. April. I would really recommend this if you wanted to check it out, if you are okay with some darkness and maybe some gore. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, but yeah, check the trigger warnings for this one. I am now currently reading Sinister Spring by Agatha Christie. This is for a couple of proms. It's for Where are we? This is for the prompt past 10 bought on my mini golf TBR. I'm about halfway through, pretty confident I will finish it by the end of the month because I still have a few days. I'm enjoying this one, but it's a collection of short stories set in spring by Agatha Christie. I feel like Agatha Christie's writing definitely works best when you have a whole book to kind of tell the story and figure out who the killer is. Obviously you don't have a lot of space in some of these stories. It's very like bish bash bosh, that happened, and there's the killer. And some of them don't really delve into that at all. It's quite interesting actually to see the differences between these two like all of these short stories. But yeah, I am enjoying it. Definitely don't enjoy the short story collections as much as I do the full novels, but isn't this beautiful? It's so pretty. I still have a couple of books I haven't even gotten to yet, including Golden Boys by Phil Stamper, which is for Metal in the Name. I think all of the ones I haven't gotten to are books I need to read for the magical readathon. So it's Golden Boys, which is for Metal in the Name, and then it's The Wolf Den, which is for Wolf on the cover or in the title, and then A Book from the Top or Highest Shelf is Under the Moon by Laura Miracle, possibly? Catwoman Tale. Yeah, I still haven't got that down. I know I keep promising I'll do it, but I still haven't done it. I will do it, I promise. I have a list of all these books so I don't forget. But I'm going to Marks today, so I probably should get that down and take it with me after work. So I also have a few things to unwrap that arrived in the post this morning, so I'm going to do that with you now. The first one is Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. I have talked a lot today because I've been training at work and my voice is going, but first one is Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. I haven't read a Tessa Bailey book yet, but I've heard such good things, and as I'm getting into more and more romance recently, I wanted to pick one up. So I was offered this by the publisher and I took the chance. I am very excited to have this, so thank you very, very much to, I think this is a Harper book. Thank you to Harper, as always, for this book. I also have another. It's very thin though, so I'm not 100% sure what it is, but we'll find out. Oh, it's the Little Women retelling. Oh, I'm so excited for this. This is Little Women by Laura Wood. It's a retelling of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and this is a dyslexia-friendly book. So this is from Barrington Stoke. Thank you so much to Barrington Stoke for sending this one my way. I was so excited to read this. I have read the Pride and Prejudice retelling by Laura Wood and really loved it, and I love Little Women so much, so very excited for this one. Thank you so much, Barrington Stoke. I cannot wait to get to this one. I might try and read this one in May. It's only a short book as well, so yeah, thank you so much for this one. Okay, I'm gonna go because I need to jump back on to work in 2 minutes time. So I need to go, but I thought I would update you. I promise I will try and actually vlog this weekend before I wrap up the end of this vlog, but thank you for sticking with me and bearing with me as I am so busy at the moment, but I will speak to you soon. update, but I refuse to be on camera right now. So, because I've had a lazy day and have not been wearing anything other than pyjamas. Here is the Miffy I bought in London the other day. I love her. And here are the books I've been reading. So I thought I was overdue an update. I have read the entirety of Golden Boys, oops, sorry Miffy, since I last spoke to you, and honestly, I really enjoyed this. I had read a Phil Stamper book before. I read As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper, and it was okay, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. So I was a little hesitant going into this one. However, I really, really liked it. I really love this cover as well. This one is following 4 friends who are Sel, Heath, Reese and Gabriel, and they are basically spending, it's like their last summer before their last year of high school, I think. And they are very close friends. 2 of them have like a friends with benefits type of friendship. The other 2 are crushing on each other, but neither of them know that the other one likes them, if that makes sense. And they go to different parts of the US and different parts of the world. They are from a small like village in Ohio. One of them goes to DC to work in the capital. One of them goes to France to study in Paris. One of them goes to Boston to study, well, to like work for this like non-profit tree charity. And the other one goes down to Daytona Beach to work at his aunt's arcade, and it's like all of them kind of finding themselves and finding out who they want to be and finding out what their friendships look like, and their friendship looks like as a group over the course of the summer. And I read this in like 24 hours, honestly. I didn't want to put it down. The chapters are also really short, like when you flick through it has some occasional like journal pieces and texting, but yeah, the chapters are quite short, so it was very easy to flick through and just like carry on reading. So I just wanted to carry on, which I really, really loved. So yeah, I think it's probably a 4 out of 5 stars for me. This one was quite enjoyable. And then I've also finished Sinister Spring. Oh, this cover is just gorgeous. I love it. I read a lot of this on audio and then I finished off in the physical version because I haven't been driving or like walking or running as much. So I've just finished it tonight. And we are in May now, by the way. And I did enjoy it, but I do feel like I don't enjoy Agatha Christie's short stories as much. I want a chance to get to know the characters and to get to know the setting and to give me a chance to think about who the culprit might be. Whereas this, I feel like some of the stories don't even have much of a focus on like a murder or a culprit. Like it's like snapshots into these people's lives and I don't really have a chance to connect to them all that much. So I think Agatha Christie short stories are maybe, they're okay, but they're definitely not as much for me as her like full-length novels are. I am excited to read another of her full-length novels because I think I'm reading The Murder of Roger Ackroyd in May, which I think I'm remembering correctly, that's the next one I'm reading. So I am looking forward to that because I just didn't feel like this one hit the spot for me. It is stunning though. I'm glad I have it as part of my collection. But I do find the short stories just don't satisfy me in terms of what I want from Agatha Christie. And I find that the writing feels more aged as well in these. I think when you're reading a full-length novel, you can really get into the story and you don't notice the writing being from the early 1900s as much. But with the short stories, I feel like it's more noticeable for some reason. So I didn't enjoy it as much because of that as well. But I did still like it. I would probably give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Now I've finished it. But yeah, it's definitely, the short stories are probably showing themselves to be not my favourites, but I'm glad I have this. And then I've also just started reading The Wolf Den. As I said, we're in May now, so I'm a little bit behind and I will be ending this video soon. I probably won't carry on till the full length of this book, but I have literally just started it and I enjoyed the first chapter. This one is following Amara, who was once a beloved daughter until her father's death plunged her family into penury. I always forget how to say that word. Now she's owned by a man she despises and lives as a slave in Pompey's infamous brothel. Her only value desire she can stir in others, but her spirit is far from broken, sharp, resourceful, and surrounded by women whose humour and dreams she shares, and Mara comes to realise that everything in this city has its price, but how much will her freedom cost? It's the first in a trilogy of novels reimagining the lives of women in Pompey's Lupina. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. The barcode's crossed out because the publisher sent this to me, so thank you to the publisher, which is Head of Zeus, for sending this one to me. But yeah, I'm excited to finally be reading this one because I've heard so many good things about it, but we will see how I find it. I'm imagining it's going to be quite dense, although the first chapter I did find a bit easier to read than easier than I expected to read. So we will see how this one goes. But yeah, I will do like a full wrap up of this video when I want to present on camera. But I don't feel like that right now, or today. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update because I have read a lot since I last spoke to you. Hi and welcome to the end of the vlog. I am just here to wrap up a couple of books and to wrap up kind of how I did in April and since April, because it's now a couple of days into May, and I thought I would just go through like very quickly what I read and the promise that they were for, and also the books I haven't wrapped up yet, which is these two right here. So I did also read Under the Moon, A Catwoman Tale by Lauren Miracle. I actually really enjoyed this one. I wasn't sure how I would find it because I did find Wonder Woman Warbringer, the graphic novel, a little bit hit and miss, but that is part of the DC Icon set and this one isn't. This is just part of the DC Ink imprint, I think. But I did really enjoy this. I thought it was really good. It is following Catwoman before she becomes Catwoman, as she's becoming Catwoman, and it's following her like with a kind of troubled background. Her mom is with an abusive guy and she's living in the house with them, and she's like suffering through that as well. And she ends up running away from home, and it's kind of following that. I thought it was really good. I really liked her as a character. I really liked following her. This is really dialogue heavy, which suits me because I'm really bad at looking at pictures. But yeah, I really liked this. I liked the art style as well, and I felt quite invested in the story. So yeah, this one, really enjoyable. I think it's a 4 out of 5 stars. Does have some difficult topics in here like self-harm, so please look up the triggers if you are going to check it out. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I have then also finished The Wolf Den by Lodi Harper, and I really liked this one as well. I didn't expect to like this one as much as I did. I don't really read historical fiction, and this being set in a brothel in Pompeii was not necessarily something that appealed to me, but I've heard such good things about this book and friends have read it and absolutely loved it, so I thought I would pick it up, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. I was really invested. I think this one, because it follows the women so heavily, it is so character driven. I just wanted to know that they were going to be okay. I wanted to know that they were going to escape. I was reading like 150 pages a day to get through this because it's actually quite compelling, and I just got very into their story. And yeah, I did really enjoy this. This is probably a 4.5 out of 5 stars, if not a 4, but definitely up there. So yeah, the character development in this I just really liked, and I felt like I could not relate to them, but I could understand and sympathise a lot more than I expected to, considering it's a historical book, which I think I always worry about with historical, but it's kind of different because it's set in Pompeii. And yeah, I did really like this one, and I definitely want to continue with the series. This is going to be a trilogy, I think. Yeah, so it's the start of a trilogy. The House with the Golden Door is the second one, which came out last year. There is also going to be a third one, which I can't remember the name of, but the cover is green, because I looked it up yesterday just to see what the plans were. But yeah, I would like to get The House with the Golden Door because I think that's coming out in paperback soon, or is out already, so I would like to pick that one up to continue with this because I did really enjoy it. So yeah, really liked this one, really liked Under the Moon, so that was a good way to finish off April going into May. I do have my list of everything here on my iPad, so I'm just going to quickly go through everything I read and why I read it. So in this vlog, so the first set is the books that I got from playing TBR mini golf. So that was Sinister Spring. The prompt for that one was past 10 bought, so it was in the past 10 books I'd bought or received. Then we had People from My Neighbourhood, which was my shortest book. Legends and Lattes, which was top of TBR, because a buddy read that one, so it was like a priority for me. Book Lovers, which I chose for Hyped, and Death of a Bookseller, which was for The and A and Of, which I did enjoy, I think, most of those, if not all of them. I think Sinister Spring and People from My Neighbourhood were more of a liked. Legends and Lattes and Book Lovers both got 5 stars from me, and Death of a Bookseller got 4, so I really enjoyed that one too. And then I did cross over a couple into my magical readathon TBR, which was People from My Neighbourhood for the prompt flowers on the cover, and Legends and Lattes for 2 E's in the title, 2 letter E's in the title. And then I also read The Wolf Den for wolf on the cover or in the title. Flip a coin, so non-fictional fiction. I got non-fiction, was Side Splitter by Phil Wang, which I really liked as well. I read Golden Boys for Metal in the Name, which was a pleasant surprise too. A book from my top or higher shelf, honestly it took me the entire month to get it down from there because it's up the top here, was Under the Moon, a Catwoman tale, this one right here. And then a book compared to your favourite was 10,000 Doors of January, which again, I felt like I had a good month in terms of actually really enjoying a lot of the books I read. I had a lot of like 4 and 5 stars there, so good reading month. I think it was also full of pleasant surprises, ones I didn't expect to be as good as they were. So yeah, I'm really happy with my month in terms of that. Hopefully I can read a little bit more in May. We'll see. I've already finished these 2 in May, so at least I have a couple under my belt. But yeah, thank you for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was bunched up at the end of the month. I will try and do better in May, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.